gotta trust the process, player. The process. The process. Welcome to the process, player. I say you gotta trust her. Cue the interview. I got some shit to say. How persistence about this business really got me here today. Kicking game. It's a podcast, but this here a different lane. Hit you with some hidden gems, but then it's
Welcome to the process. I'm your host, Cue the Interview. Today we have a special guest. She has a very important business. I'm a father of two, and I have two wild 3-year-olds, and pretty soon they'll be going to school and riding the bus. And I am a great parent, so when I see my kids at school, I want them to return back to my house off the bus as I sit them to school on the bus. But this young lady, Miss Tabatha Barron, has a business that tracks your tracks your child and makes sure you know where they are at all times. So I wanted to thank Miss Tabatha for coming on my show today and talking about her process. How you doing, Miss Tabatha?
I'm all right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Also, Miss Tabatha, the people want to know who's Tabatha.
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
Yeah, I know, right? So I have 2 children.
Okay.
So I'm a child advocate.
Okay.
Because I have one special needs and one average child, right?
Okay.
So I had to advocate all the time.
Okay.
But then also an engineer. I spent a lot of years.
Wow.
I spent a lot of years putting together my craft and doing what I need to do in order to be successful.
Right.
And giving a lot of success to a lot of businesses that I work with
Okay.
and for. So yeah, spent about 20 years in
Okay.
engineering.
In engineering?
Yes, learned a lot
Okay.
of different things. I went to school. I decided to have them teach me one side of the world, which is going to be hardware.
Okay.
And then I taught myself the software.
Okay.
And then I put them both together and create anything and everything that I want to create because I can see it once I understand how to make it move.
Oh man, so you went to school to actually learn.
Yes.
You weren't playing. You had a mission.
Yeah, I was on a mission. I definitely knew when I went to school that I was going to have my own business.
Wow.
I never went into when I went to school, I was like, okay, I need you to teach me what I need to get started, and then I just continued to add on top of it. But I always knew, and I remember this because when we're finishing school, they always ask you what you want to do, how you want to do it. I had an entire map of what I wanted to do and how to make me a well-rounded person. And then what I was going to do on my exit in order to come into my own business.
Ooh, a woman with a mission and a plan. Come on, let's go with it, man. So what was your first job out of college?
Oh, I worked for a company called Sharp Electronics, repairing copiers.
Oh
yeah.
How did you love it?
Oh yeah, I did not, but I did not. But it taught me a lot of things.
Okay.
It taught me what I wanted and what I didn't want.
Okay.
So it taught me that I necessarily want to be in a brick and mortar all day, every day.
Okay.
But I got to see a lot of great sights. I got to go inside the White House in the ground floor where nobody really sees anything.
Okay, gotcha.
And I got to spend a lot of time in the Pentagon. So it was
wow.
Oh, yeah. It was pretty cool. I was able to do those things. I liked that part of it and meeting all the different people.
Okay.
But in general, no, the job was cool. It was a good start. But that was never going to be forever.
Okay, gotcha. So when your kids was going to school, did you ever worry about them coming home or getting dropped off at the wrong location?
No. Because the difference was for my children, they walked. There was only 1 year that they rode the school bus, and that's because
I went to school too.
Was on the opposite side of this 4-lane road.
Oh, it's right there.
So it literally, you could see it. So they said, "Oh, we can't allow you to walk to school. We must pick you up and take you to the other side of the street."
Oh, gotcha.
So that was the only.
So your kids was walkers.
All walkers.
Right on. That's cool. So let's get right on into it. Tell me about your business. What everything about it.
No,
the people want to know.
We're trying to figure this out, right?
Yes.
So my niece got put on the wrong school bus twice in the same school year as a 5-year-old, and she was dropped off 5 miles away from where my mom was waiting for her.
Wow.
The problem with that was that I was on the phone, so that's the only. My mom says, "Tabatha, I have to call you back," and I was like, "Why? What's the matter?" She says, "She didn't get off the bus."
Oh.
And you can hear it in her voice. Her voice kind of drops, and I was like, okay, click, hang up. I don't have time. I can't do this. But after we finally found her, she was gone for about an hour and a half. What happened was that when I started asking the questions, the school broke their own process. The bus picked her up, and they knew they weren't supposed to pick her up either. And then a child care center found her, but they weren't supposed to receive her, but they never called home. So if you look at, when I looked at the entire process, I was like, there is a lack of community when it comes to sending your child to school. When I was growing up, my neighbor would beat me to my grandmother's house to tell on me for what I did on the bus.
Yeah, I got it.
So I'm kind of confused at why we're breaking a process at the beginning. Because my niece said, this isn't my bus. My mom said not to put me on this bus. And they were like, get on this bus anyway. Mm-hmm. And they placed her there. So in order to solve the problem, I needed to figure out exactly how I can solve it one time for all three groups.
Oh, wow.
And that's exactly what I did. I made it a point to say, what is the one thing that adults will not ignore? Do you always answer your phone?
Yes.
You always answer your text?
Depending on who texts.
How about your email? All those things are electronic.
You're right.
So at the end of the day, if I electronically tell you you're placing the child in the wrong place, you're 9 times out of 10 going to listen. And that's exactly what I put into place. So I took what the businesses do now for access points into the building, and I just gave it to the students to do. So now the students have a card, and they scan to get onto the bus, and they scan to get off of the bus.
Okay.
And when they scan to get onto the bus, if they're in the incorrect location, our software will tell you that child does not belong here.
Okay. That's really good.
Here's the other thing. I broke the system on purpose because there's one thing you mentioned before. They're only bus riders.
Right.
There are 4 ways children will leave a school: walkers and bikers, car riders, yellow bus riders, and child care bus riders. How often do you hear about a teacher chasing a child care bus because they put a child on the wrong bus? Because they're supposed to be on a yellow bus, but they put them on a child care bus because the child doesn't want to ride a yellow bus. He wants to go to the fun place.
Right.
Right? And so I had to figure out, how do I take care of 100% of the school population with just one action, with one software. And that's exactly what I did. So all of them are taken care of. You scan every student out through their dismissal channel. And then if they're in the incorrect location, you'll know it right away. And then you can redirect them instantly. And so now the parents will understand, okay, your child attempted to go home as a walker. Right. So now you need to have that conversation with them, because you get a text message as a parent that says, hey, they're en route.
Right.
Or, hey, they attempted to go the wrong way.
Okay. So how many times I tried to find the information on how often does a child gets dropped off at the wrong location. I couldn't find the number.
You're not going to find the numbers. I've been looking for the numbers for years. The schools are very much aware of the number. They're not going to reveal the numbers. My take on it is, if they told you, if you knew half the things that happen behind closed doors, you wouldn't send your children to school. So.
Oh, they got to go.
Yeah, look, you like
go.
Everybody else.
I
don't know how y'all going to go to school, but y'all got to get up out of here.
Yeah, get out of here.
Right. But the thing about it is, there's 89,000 elementary schools in the United States.
Okay.
And a child that is misplaced or dropped off somewhere, somehow, some way, every single day of the time that they're in school. It is very, very consistent. The only reason why you hear about it on the news is because the doors lock, the phones are off, you have no other place to call but 911. So when your child goes missing, or you can't find your go-to, we'll just say Primrose, okay? You show up and Primrose says, your kid's not here. They never came from the school. You instantly don't know what to do, so you're going to pick up the phone and call the police. Because the school, when you call the school doesn't answer. Right. When you call transportation, they don't answer. But transportation is Primrose, right? Right. So who do you have to call? Your kid's missing. So you will call 911, and that's how it all trickles out at that point.
Okay. So, wow. So getting all this together, what was the process of you? You have an app, right?
Yes. So I have 2 apps.
Oh, you have 2 apps.
2 apps. Okay. One's for the parent, one's for the school. Okay. So the one for a parent it gives us the ability to, how many times your kid's not in school yet?
They in daycare.
Yeah, you have to call and say, my wife's going to come get them, or my mom's going to come pick them up, things like that. So our app allows you to be able to do the same. You can do it without ever picking up the phone. So you would do it through the app.
Okay.
The other thing it does is it keeps track of all of the dismissals,
Mm-hmm.
and then it allows you to be able to actively track your student as if they're on the school bus.
So do my kids or do the students have to have a device in their backpack?
No, they only get a card. So the card is the only thing that we give to the student. And believe it or not, we replace less than 1% of the tags a year. So they decorate them, they put stickers on them, they write little, only thing we ask them not to do is put their names on it. Because you never want to give a predator an opportunity to be able to call out your child's name, John, and them turn around, and now they have access to your child. So we never put names or anything on it, and the card only has 6 digits on it. So there's not enough information to do harm to anything or anyone. It just the card gets returned back to the school in the event that it's lost.
Okay. So what are some of the challenges that you're facing as you put this great app and this great program into the school system? What are some of the challenges that you may be facing?
Status quo. So the thing about all of this is that it's very weird, but the only thing we wake up underneath every single day is change. But if I come into your building and say, I think that there's an opportunity for us to work together, they're instantly put your hands up and it becomes guarded and then say, no, I don't have that problem. So it's definitely an acknowledgement that the problem exists. It's not a problem necessarily. It's an opportunity if we think about it. I'm not saying that what the principals are doing are wrong. That's not what's happening. I only have 2 children. I have a hard time keeping up with 2 kids when they were little, right? That principal has 500, 700, and 900 children. They have to make sure it goes in each individual direction. Right. That's a lot of pressure. So most of the pushback I get is I've had a superintendent say, just put a cell phone in your child's backpack. You can track them all day long. That is the rudest thing you can ever say to anyone. Why do I say that? That means you're giving a 5-year-old, you're giving a 5-year-old a cell phone, and you're going to place it in their backpack so you can track them. I don't understand why that's even a possibility.
Right. So you have to so say the bus driver scans the person, so that everybody has to be on the same wave of doing this, right?
But it's what they already do. It's just the only difference is that they don't scan anything and they don't know your name.
All right, because I haven't rode the bus in a long time,
yeah,
so I don't even know
your name. They just give the driver a piece of paper with all the phone numbers and all the names of the students and says "Happy hunting."
Right. So okay. So what age frame do you does this program is this program for?
It is for pre-K through 12. However, we do, because...
So 12 grade, I was getting off at the wrong bus stop. I wasn't going...
But what about the ESL kids?
Oh, that's a good one.
What about the special needs kids?
That's a great one.
Okay, so, but here's the other thing. Point of reference is, when you go to a job, do you have to wear a badge?
Yes.
Can you access certain areas without your badge?
No.
So, why are we not expecting the children to wear badges? If the difference between an active shooter being able to identify an active shooter is a difference between the badge being worn and the badge not being worn, why are not all children required to wear a badge?
Oh, that's good.
So the point is that everything that I do is all about the safety of a child.
Right.
It doesn't matter whether or not it's an active shooter, whether or not it's a fire drill, whether or not it's school dismissal. At the end of the day, I'm about the preservation of a student.
Okay.
So if you start preparing them now to do what we do in our workplace, it's going to be less likely to be an issue later. One of the things that I notice is that Sandy Hooks, I just was talking about this with someone else. Sandy Hooks, a man went in and shot up a bunch of students, right?
Correct.
Killed a bunch of kids.
Yes.
But why did you not recognize that he didn't belong there? Because he looked like everybody else.
Wow.
You know? Yeah. So we have to think about that in those terms. So I'm saying pre-K through 12th grade all need a tag. Those tags, those IDs need to be attached to something that is important enough for them to make sure it's wrapped around their neck every day. Because when I had to wear a badge and I had to go into work, there were certain places I could not access because I didn't have my access card. Same difference.
Okay.
And we should really kind of get back to something like that that says we can identify each student.
Right. Also, let me ask you another question. So since we have this badge to this tracking, and it's a lot of shooting in schools every now and then, does this badge track my kid during school?
No. So none of our devices are active. They're all passive. So there is
Okay.
no me physically being able to track any student or any car or anything we're attached to. What we do is called access point tracking. So for every place that your card is touched, we know exactly where you've been.
Okay. This is
It's
this
not
is
gonna. Yeah, it's different.
yeah. This is brilliant. And so where is this program located? Like where are you located with this? And what school districts?
Right now, I'm in Alvin ISD.
Okay.
Right, so we're just so 2020 made us all have a seat.
Yeah, sit down. No school bus driving, none of that.
I'm just saying. I just want to know who broke the china so we can come off a punishment.
Right.
But we were supposed to scale last year, but we couldn't.
Okay.
We had to kind of take a back seat to figure out what academics was going to do.
Okay.
But now we're in the process of beginning to scale this out. So we do not have any limits. We can go across the country, and and this is actually a global problem. This is not an issue of just only in the United States this is happening.
Right.
The stuff is happening in Canada. I met a lady who just lost a young man in Qatar. So the problem exists everywhere because I'm an adult. I have a lot of things going on up in my head. Mm-hmm. And I'm worried about my mom being sick. I'm worried about picking up my own child.
Right.
And so now I'm just open up the door, everybody get out, and just rush. So we got to get to the place where we're having a hard time slowing down ourselves. So we just got to get to the place where something else can help support us do the right thing all the time.
Okay. So can y'all also operate out of like daycares?
Yes.
So listen, hey, daycares. You can
Yes.
tell the people your services so they know how to contact you.
Right. So you can always reach me at info@kyksfirst.com. The website as well, kyksfirst.com. Phone number 832-405-8036. I have like 3 numbers. I think that's why I have to look down. But you can always reach out to me. I'm always looking for principals, forward-thinking principals. Not all principals are made for us. Mm-hmm. It's just that simple. There are people that we're looking for that are principals, childcare owners, directors, people who understand the importance of the safety of the child's independence and growth. Right, those are the ones we're looking for. I love talking to superintendents who are willing to see it for their whole entire district.
Okay, I see that you have your program is really good. Is there anything that you need help with?
Sales. You asked.
Yeah,
sales. Because here's the thing. Education is different. So when we go to have conversations, it seems that most of my interaction has to be a warm introduction to somebody who's willing to have the conversation, right? Mm-hmm. So if I walk in cold, they'd rather give it to their friend than they give it to somebody that's a parent or somebody who wants to give back in good. Oh, let me tell you something else.
Come on with it.
You ready?
Yeah.
I finished the parent app right before we all got locked down.
Don't track me now.
Yeah, but let me tell you why I did that. The parent app will allow them, for any school that decides to pick up our car rider system, they can actually get money back for just using it. Because parents are impatient. There are sometimes parents are impatient. They need their kid right now. Hurry up.
I got something to do.
Yeah, you got something to do.
Yeah.
Got a doctor's appointment. You got to make it.
Yeah, sports practices, all that.
We found a way to finally say, okay, we can take our money for the model, but then we write a check back to the school at the end of the school year.
Oh, so y'all give money?
We're giving money back. So we will give the school money back as long as they use the car rider system.
Come on with that stimulus. Come on with that stimulus check. Okay, so all right, I want
all about social impact, right?
All about social impact. So now it's your time to push your business to the people. So let them know who you are and how they can contact you again. And
cool, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So again, my name is Tabatha Barron. I'm the founder of Keeping Your Kids Safe. So we offer the opportunity to be able to nurture your children for independent thinking and learning and safety, right? So we make sure that every student goes home the right time, the first time, and every time, right? That's what we do. And you get a text message along the way. So each child scans to get onto the bus, they scan to get off of the bus. That is important because it allows them the ability to know where they are and what stop they're supposed to get off at. And you get a text message along the way. So that's what we do. We can always be reached at info@kyksfirst.com. And you can also call us at 832-405-8036. And make sure to ask for Tabatha. And we'll see you later.
Hey, I want to thank Miss Tabatha for coming on my show. And also, guys, I need y'all to hit that subscribe button, that like, that share, and that comment. That was important. So, again, I want to thank Miss Tabatha for coming on. My show is here to motivate, to inspire the viewers to do something they want to do. Again, cue the interview. This is the process. Thank you. What do you think?
The process. Welcome to the process, player. I say you gotta trust her. Cue the interview. I got some shit to say. How persistence about this business really got me here today. Kicking game. It's a podcast, but this here a different lane. Hit you with some hidden gems, but then it's meant to entertain. Turn some losses